Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here today with Miss Pat with the BET Plus original series, The Miss Pat Show. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. And let me just say to the world, the video was added, so that's why my eyelashes are missing.
I tell you, like I can't do eyelashes. I don't blink right. I'll be crying in the interview, so I admire that about you.
You gotta find a brand that'll stick up there and that won't make your eye run, because some eyeliner makes mine run. So.
So I wanted to talk. I mean, you have such a vast experiences and such a textured life. And I just wanted to get into that, into what, of course, obviously what inspired the show. But you're originally from Atlanta.
Yes, right? Baby. I'm a Georgia peach. I was born at Great Memorial Hospital in the basement.
You were born at Great. That's me. I lived in Atlanta for a little bit. So I know you said you're from the West Side?
I'm from the West End. I grew up in the West End.
Okay, yeah. I used to go to the AUC. I went to school out there, so I'm familiar with Atlanta enough. But I used to live in the 4th Ward.
You know what Fast Street Bottom at?
I don't remember.
It was across the street from you guys. That's where I sold all the drugs at.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that too. But so the show is based on your life, and you've talked very candidly about selling drugs. And having children young, and there's this different experience that you've had, but you're able to make us laugh through these experiences. How are you able to laugh at having had these experiences?
Well, I tell people every night on stage, you can't change the past, so why dwell on it? So I just learned not to dwell. I can't go back and pick the parents that I thought should have been my parents. I can't go back and undo the wrong that was done to me. So in my life, I just keep moving forward. So I tell people each and every night, when you can take when you can take what caused you pain and laugh at it, then you have control of that situation. Because when you can laugh at it, you're no longer crying about it.
That's right.
Everything anybody ever done to me, I find the funny in it. I don't care if it's from being in an abusive relationship, to being poor, to being molested. I find it funny in everything. And that's hard. It's really hard. But I also learned to forgive and let go. So here comes a bunch of jokes after that. A bunch of crazy stories, I call them.
So how does your family feel? Because again, this show is, it's some fictional, but it is loosely and representation of your life. How does your family feel about being depicted in it?
This show is about 95% of my life.
Okay. I wasn't sure how much it pulled. Okay, but
yes, from that plane scene all the way through, it's really? About 95% of my life. They're very happy. You know, my real daughter in real life name is Ashley. The fictional part is the characters who play my family. So they like it. I mean, some stuff they like, hey, you can't put that in the show. But I try to put everything in the show.
I see. And I mean, the thing about the show that I really love, and I see that you call it a grown-ass comedy, it really is a grown-ass comedy. So it's fun to watch something that I think on the ground, honestly, this is something that a lot of us can actually really relate to, because this is how we really talk when we're amongst our family. So that's what's so good about the show.
I mean, it's real. I mean, we had conversations that, like you said, when we're amongst our family that don't go outside the door, that they never show on TV. You ever watch a sitcom and it's a black family? Like, nobody talks like that at home.
No.
Nobody has those types of conversations. Like we did an episode about pronoun, him, them, they, and their. And it was because my daughter brought a kid over that wanted to be referred to like that. And I'm like, I'm not used to calling nobody him, them, they, and their. What's in your underwear? That's what I want to call you. What was you born? But it was a teaching moment for me. And it was the first time I ever encountered somebody like that. And that's why I wanted to do an episode on it. We did an episode on derogatory words, what we call people, how we really talk when we're behind our doors. Everybody's like, I never use that word. Yes, you do. In the comfort of your home, you do all kind of creepy, crazy, ugly stuff that the world don't know. And so we did episodes on that. I wanted to be what it was like, how I really talk at the house, or how people really react when they're with their families. Instead of somebody right now, well, this is how you should be politically correct. No. I mean, in the pilot, I said, kiss my ass, Terry. Who haven't told their husband to kiss their ass?
I know, right? And I saw both of those episodes, and I liked it because again, you brought the flavor of, who most of us just really are. And there was an honesty to it, and it was a teachable moment, but it wasn't fake, So
Mm-hmm.
I love that, you were able to really get us through those questions and also those themes without making it very hokey and like, maybe the sort of the typical sitcom
You know
approach.
how you see a lot of sitcom, and it's always, and especially when it's black, white people. We're here to teach you something. I'm not here to teach you shit. I'm here to show you how people live inside of their households for real. When
Yeah.
somebody who know how, I'm not a sitcom writer. I just
Hmm.
took it from my real life and the way we react to things. And in a nutshell, we all the same, no matter what race you are. So this here just gonna make you. It's real. It's not
Hmm.
like you like you said, hokey dokey. You like nobody talks like that. Nobody would have handled that situation like that. Oh, coo. Let me bake you a pie. No, sit your ass down and explain to me what him, them, there, and there is.
Right. Yeah. No, that's it's just true. It's true. It's more real. And I think a lot of times too, people are very performative on the internet, and they try to make it seem like, well, I would have done this. That's just not the way it works in life.
Even with the clip, people was like, "Oh, this sitcom is gonna bring down black family," and I'm a very responsible person on
Hmm.
the internet, and I said, "Well, if this sitcom is gonna bring down responsible, I mean, talk about black families in a bad way. What is Chicago? What is all
Hmm.
this other stuff going on amongst all people? Don't
Hmm.
come at me.
Yeah.
Find you
No.
somebody to play with."
Yeah, no, it's true because even in saying that, you were not being negative. You were just trying to understand, and what you came to understanding, it's like you got it. So that's what people aren't getting. They have to watch it to understand that
You
if they have
can't watch a
anything.
clip and judge a whole
No,
show. You gotta watch this show.
not with this show, not with this show. And then I was going to ask you too. I mean, this is your life, so when you're working with writers, what is that energy like when someone's trying to write you or think that they can maybe approach a scene better than you? When you're like, well, hold up, that's not the way this works.
I'm glad you asked that. That was the creator who I created this show with, Jordan Cooper. That was my third writer, and
Mm,
it took 5 years for this project to come to light. I mean, there was so many times I cried on Lee Daniel's shoulder. This is Lee Daniel project,
mm-hmm,
and there was so many times I thought it was going to come to light, and he just told me I'm going to find somebody, and he found somebody. And the great part about this kid is that we was able to connect. He understood me. He studied me. He started to talk like me because I'm a comic. So when you're writing somebody's life on TV as jokes, you got to become that person.
yeah.
Almost like acting. That's why Denzel is so great at what he do.
Mm-hmm,
And that's what this kid became. He became me. And when he would step outside the box and it wasn't me, I was like, "Yo, dude, I don't talk like that, or I
mm-hmm.
wouldn't react like that." And it was never a fight. So we was perfect together, and that's why it came off on screen like that.
Hmm. No, it's actually perfect. And so, what was it like with working with people and them seeing, again, you're being very raw and honest about your life circumstances. So, talking about like in various times throughout the show, you'll say, I'm a felon, things like that. So, are some of these actors like, oh my God, like because they don't, or I don't know everybody's background, but they don't come from that. So, are they almost fascinated by you because,
Well, I'm not fake. So
right?
when the show went out for people, it tell you a formerly convicted felon. And once
Hmm.
they came, hey, I've been to jail. And once we
Hmm.
hit the set, I would tell them stories from my life. And I mean, if you come in to work with somebody, a star of a show, you're gonna do some type of research. So I
Yeah,
got so many videos and so many interviews out there. So I think they was a little fascinated.
yeah.
Um, the thing, my weakest point was I was a new actor, so that was kind of scary for me, which they all wrapped their arms around me, and you can't
Mhm.
really tell throughout the series. But I think what they was kind of fascinating. I heard so many times from the kid Junebug, he's like, "I've never met anybody like you," and and I say, "You probably never will." Who will be so honestly and open, because I want people to know that you don't have to hide who you are.
Mhm.
Like I tell people, I said, Jesus Christ came here and died for your sin, and I would never do that. And y'all judged and hung him. Y'all ain't about to do that to me. Y'all not about to steal my Hercules sandals.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. So when you moved to Indianapolis, what was that transition like?
Girl, scary.
Because you
I
think,
moved
a lot of
in.
people move from Indianapolis to Atlanta, but you never hear about it in the reverse.
That's what people say. Are you running from the police? My husband works at General Motors, and it was a shock. It was a culture shock for me. I was really a fish out of water. I mean, I
Mhm.
was depressed. I cried all the time. I couldn't get my hair fixed. In my little neighborhood, the most black stuff they had on the aisle was a carefree curl. Now we ain't had a curl since the 80s. This stuff had dust on top of it.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
was so miserable. Never thought I'd be making a TV show about Plainfield, Indiana. But it took a while. It was hard. It really was. To see my kids go to school with people that didn't look like them and just to see the change in them,
Hmm.
it wasn't easy. But I have great neighbors. I mean, my community, once I purchased a home, they wrapped their arms around me. I don't even think they knew I was that sad in the beginning.
Aw. And I mean, for your kids, because I know you obviously wanted them to have a different experience than you did. How do you feel about Indiana as far as what it offered them?
Um, Indiana was a great move for us. I
Hmm.
didn't want it, but sometimes what I've learned over the years, sometimes you got to sit still and let God take control. We as human beings want to just run out there and figure it all out for ourselves. Sometimes just pay attention to the signs, because when we was getting ready to move, so many so many General Motors company was sending us stuff in the mail and we was turning it down. And Indiana was the last place. If he didn't take it, he wouldn't have a job. So I was like, I guess this is where we're supposed to go. And my kids adjust well. It was just me.
Mm. And I've been curious because you've been able to have a very successful career and not be, located in Atlanta, New York, LA. And I mean, that obviously is a great blessing, but has it been difficult because you were not located in those particular hubs?
At first, I really did thought it was going to be difficult because I moved from Atlanta, which is baby
Hmm.
Hollywood. It was growing to be baby Hollywood 15
Hmm.
years ago. And I was kind of scared. I'm stuck in the Midwest. But then, I said, God, I don't have the money to move to LA. Plus, we too fat. We're not going to turn into vegans. I'm never going to look like those people. So if it's for me to have anything in as a big career, you're going to have to let them come to this cornfield and get me. And that's what happened.
I know that's right. And how different is podcasting, stand up, and television? What do all of those channels offer you?
Podcast is just laid back. I can do my podcast with no makeup because I don't care. Uh, 80% of the time, I don't wear a bra. So people like, Big Pat, you look like you gained weight. I say, no, I just don't have on a bra today. And I get to talk about whatever I want to. Acting is a skill. It's like stand-up comedy. It's something that I had to really work at,
You're
because
good though.
they say acting is reacting. And
Mm.
in this show, I'm quite sure you saw, I had to go up and down. Like I had
Hmm.
to ask the co-creator, I said, is this a comedy or a dramedy? Because he would really pull stuff out of me. Like
Hmm.
there was times I had to walk away where he would write lines, that conversation that me and my real husband had, and he would put them on paper. And I was like, I can't say this to this married man. He was like, it's acting. But I was like, but I feel this because I've said this to my husband and I said
Hmm.
it to you, and then you go and you write it. So some of it was a really big struggle for me.
Hmm. Oh, understandable. And then, of course, you also wrote your book. How cathartic was that to get your story into your book as well?
Again, I had a co-writer, Janine Namber.
Hmm.
Oh my God, she kicked down so many doors that I had locked that was so full of pain and anger. And it was it was a healing process. It took us over a year and a half to write that book.
Hmm.
And I learned a lot about myself. And it opened my mind to a lot. Like when you've been molested or you've been abused, a lot of time you protect the person,
Hmm.
especially if it's like a mother or somebody, a relative, something like that. And she made me realize I was protecting the people that hurt me who should have been protecting me.
Hmm.
And I had
Hmm.
never looked at it like that. So behind a lot of tears and laughter, we was able to get through it.
Hmm. Yeah, because I saw you say in another interview too that, through pain or through abuse, you were taught to think that if somebody hits you, even that it's
My
a form
mama
of,
said it.
yeah,
My
yeah. I
mama
mean,
said if a man don't hit you, he don't love you. So my first kid's father beat the hell out of me
mm,
until one day I said, well, I think Tina Turner had came out with love, what love got to do with it. And I was
mm-hmm,
like, baby, this ain't no love. So I hit him back. And from
mm.
that day on, we fought.
Oh, we aren't gonna get hit no more. Wow, though that I mean that is just incredible how that can change. your way of thinking. And in that case, you watch something on television and that inspired you to do something. And I'm looking at you and how you tell your story. And I have not even seen anywhere near a fraction of those kind of circumstances, but you're so inspirational because, obviously you believe in yourself, you're a confident person, but it's like you're trying to make all of us be confident too. There's just a way that it comes off just very inspirational.
Well, I don't want people, like I said in the beginning, I don't want people to dwell on stuff you can't change. I
Mm-hmm.
could be somewhere crying, saying, "Oh my God, I was born into poverty. I didn't have a starting chance." The biggest thing people say in this country that pisses me off: pull yourself up by the bootstrap. Well, what if you was born with no boots or no straps?
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I just look at what you don't have. You make the best out of what you do have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and say it's anybody's fault for what I went through in life. It was a
Mm-hmm.
learning experience for me. All I know is I didn't want my black daughter to experience what I went through. I didn't want my black son to experience what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make changes in my life, and I made a lot of mistakes. I was pregnant about when I was 13 years old. I gave birth at 14 by a married man. But through
Mm-hmm.
all of that, I never gave up. And
Mm-hmm.
that comes from, no matter what I've been through in life, I truly believe that God put angels around me. I have a third grade teacher, it's in the book, a fourth grade teacher, I don't know what grade she was, Miss Troop. And she said, you know, uh, a kid who don't dream, I can't even remember. Every time I try to repeat what she said, I can't remember other than that damn book. I'm gonna remember it before we get off of here. But she had a little quote that always stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling me stuff like the dumbest question is the question not asked. I always dream. And I did. When I was at my lowest, I said, Miss Truth said that I can do and be anything in the world I want to be. When
Mm-hmm.
I was down and out, when I was in jail, when my husband always, when we would bump head about comedy, I said, Miss Truth said I can be and do anything I want to be. And people like, who the hell is Miss Truth? A teacher that lit a fire in me that no man could ever put out.
Oh, that's amazing. I tell people that all the time. Like there are certain people that step into your life no matter what age, and they'll make that one statement or say that one thing, and it can totally change. You could pivot and the trajectory of everything you decide to do. So I can relate to that completely. So what's next for you?
I'm getting ready to shoot my first hour special on a very popular streaming service that I won't say yet, but
Okay.
I'm excited about that. Can't wait to shoot it. Pandemic pushed it back and some other things, so we're headed in the right direction. Direction now with it. Thank God.
You know what's funny about you? You have literally spoke everything into existence because I've seen you say that you wanted an hour special. I've seen you say that you wanted your television show. I've seen you talk about every single thing you said you wanted to do, you have done. So that is
I'm
just
so glad you said that because I tell people all the time. I said you have to speak things into existence. If you put it out there in the universe, it's huge. It will come back. That's why
mhm.
stars fall. Stars eventually falls out of the sky.
You
You
see.
put it out there, I swear it will come back. And whenever I want something, I say it out loud. It was the
Hmm.
weirdest thing that happened to me. So I'm trying to transition back to Atlanta.
Hmm.
And it just have nothing to do. I just want to tell you how crazy when I believe you speak something. So I'm in the purchase of looking at a property and I put a bid out on it. And I said, Lord, I really want this house. The girl who does my hair, her niece called her and said, Miss Pat is buying a house. God told me to tell her it's hers. Nobody knew I was buying this house. And then I get her on the phone just to see if she bullcrapping me. She described the flows. Nobody knew that I wanted to build a podcast studio in the back of my house because I didn't tell anybody. And she told me all of this. And she said, oh, God told me to tell you got it.
Wow.
This was
Wow.
last week. And it's hard to
Wow.
floor me. But my mouth was hung over because I was looking at the floor. Oh, I think I can refurbish these flows because I'm a DIY type person.
Hmm.
And when she said all of this, and I just put it out in the universe, and it's
Hmm.
bounced over there, and she live in Mississippi, and he confirmed it when I got that phone call that morning.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so cool. Miss Pat, thank you so much, just for everything that you do. You're truly just, you're highly respected. You're hilarious,
Thank you.
and you just have a way of putting things that put people at ease, and that make us, look at things like from the not the glass half empty. You're very optimistic, you know, and if you can go through those things and be as optimistic as you are, many of us have no excuse for being down on ourselves.
Yeah, there's no reason to be down. I mean,
Hmm.
like I say all the time, I laugh, I smile, I'm happy, and I want the
Hmm.
world to be happy.
And
And you
it
can
truly
be.
shows. Yeah, it truly
And
shows that you are.
happiness starts by minding your own damn business.
I really believe that that's true.
When you mind your own business, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Girl, man, Pat, do you see my Instagram? I don't be up here worry about what no rapper doing, who done broke up. I worry about my own relationship. Hey, did we schedule our love life this week on the refrigerator? That's the stuff I'm worried about.
Oh man, that's
Can I
hilarious.
get me some nice panty liner that's not going to explode when I'm walking? So that's the stuff that's important to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time to be worried about what no China doll, no new rapper, who dating who, Carly be pregnant. I got my own problem. I'm going through menopause, and this stuff just moved to the wrong area of my body. It heating up parts of my body that I don't need to be heated up, child. Burning holes in my panty liner. I gotta ask the doctor. My hot flashes said my panty liner's on fire.
Oh man, what am I? Oh my God, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like,
They didn't tell me your hot spots move in different places, and mine just moved to the wrong place, girl.
migrating hotspots. That's crazy. You know what else I was gonna say randomly? The hair and makeup on the show is super on point. I mean,
Please say that.
everybody looks so good. The hair is laid. Everybody looks so good.
And the hair and makeup on a black show is hard because we would
Hmm.
zoom in and we would ride the heck out. And I brought my own hair. My daughter and Latasha Smith, who does a lot of other celebrities' hair, I went out and I got my own hair and makeup people. I
Hmm.
handpicked them from just being on other sets and stuff. And I was like, y'all not about to have me out here with my wig all crooked, look like it about to slide down my back.
No, it's worth saying. It's worth noting to pay attention because a lot of times, like you said, it's hard to get black stylists, and we like to clown folks because people will talk about people's edges. They're gonna talk about their eyeshadow, everything. So, well, thank you so much, Miss Pat. It was great speaking to you. Truly an honor to have this conversation. My name is Koku with blackfilm.com. I'm, of course, speaking with Miss Pat, who has her own TV show, The Miss Pat Show, and it's on BET Plus. Thank you
August
so much.
12th.
August 12th. Yep. August
August
12th.
12th. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Take care.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, sweetheart.